There is a rare kind of person who rises before the world awakens, before distractions, before the demands of life try to claim their mind. Most people open their eyes and immediately surrender to noise, urgency, and impulse. They rush through their mornings, reacting to what surrounds them instead of commanding what lies within. But the Stoic knows that the morning is not something to survive, it is something to master. The first moments after waking are more powerful than hours of work later in the day. They shape the way you think, the way you act, and the way you respond to challenges. In silence, reflection, and intentional action, you find the rare clarity and control that most will never experience. The morning becomes your proving ground, a sacred space where your mind, body, and spirit align in disciplined harmony. This is how only the 1% wake up. They do not rise in haste or panic. They rise with presence, with intention, with a quiet command over themselves. They understand that control begins internally and that every action taken before the world intrudes sets the tone for everything that follows. Today, you will learn the morning secret that builds this unshakable control. If you want to unlock more Stoic mornings, daily discipline, and life-changing strategies, subscribe to this channel. Let each morning become a step toward mastery, and let each day be lived with purpose and calm authority. 1. Begin with silence. There is power in the very first moments after waking, a space unclaimed by the world, a stillness that belongs only to you. Most people hand that space away the moment their eyes open, to buzzing screens, to urgent messages, to the noise of other people's priorities. The Stoic instead treats morning silence like a sacred room. Lie still, breathe slowly, let the mind settle from dreaming into presence. In this quiet, you don't invent your day, you receive it with clarity. Silence is not emptiness, it is a mirror. In it, you see the shape of your fears, the texture of your goals, and the faint outlines of what must be done. When you spend 10 measured breaths in silence, you interrupt the reflex to react. You create the habit of choosing the first response rather than being chosen by it. Silence trains a specific muscle, the ability to observe without immediate action. This is the foundation of control. Observe your body, its tension, its comfort, its impulse to rush. Observe your thoughts, the first judgments, the aches of doubt, the whisper of desire. Name nothing, simply notice. In that noticing, you find distance from impulses and intimacy with intention. From here, decisions come as answers from a clear source, rather than echoes from the world. Make this silence consistent. Even 5 mornings in a row reshape the brain. 10 mornings graft a new instinct. You will begin to notice that over time, chaos arrives at your door and you remain unruffled because you started the day practicing calm, and that calm becomes the default you carry into every hour. If this practice lands with you, try it tomorrow morning, no phone, 10 breaths, and a single quiet reflection. If you're serious about mastering your mornings and building unshakable control, subscribing to this channel gives you more Stoic practices, guidance, and daily routines to start your day with strength and clarity. 2. Set your intentions before you move. Before your feet touch the ground, you have already taken the most important step of the day, choosing who you will be. Not what tasks you will complete, not what goals you will chase, but the character you will embody as you move through the world. This is the foundation of Stoic discipline. The moment you sit up in bed, the mind is still soft, still forming its first shape. Most people let that shape be molded by impulse, anxiety, or habit, but the disciplined person takes control immediately. Sit upright, breathe, and ask the quiet but powerful question, what kind of person do I choose to be today? Clarity of character precedes clarity of action. When you choose patience, your responses change. When you choose strength, your posture changes. When you choose discipline, your decisions sharpen. Your day doesn't drift, it aligns. This intention becomes a compass, and throughout the day you will feel its quiet guidance. The Stoics did this every morning. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of the type of man he needed to be before facing the day's difficulties. Seneca believed that character chosen at dawn protects you from reacting unconsciously at noon. Intention turns you from a passenger into a pilot. Let this intention be simple but powerful. A single sentence is enough. I will be disciplined. Or, I will respond with calm strength. Or, I will honor my responsibilities without complaint. Hold it in your mind for a few breaths until it settles into you like a seed. Throughout the day, return to it when the world pushes, interrupts, or tempts. This becomes your anchor, your shield, your quiet promise to yourself. For more guidance on shaping your character and mastering your mornings, subscribe now. Let each day be guided by intention, not chance. 3. Confront your mind before the world does. Before you open the door to the world, you must open the door to your own thoughts. Most people begin their day reacting to notifications, to responsibilities, to emotions they never examined. They step into the world already overwhelmed because they never took a moment to meet their own mind first. The Stoic does the opposite. You face your thoughts before anything else can reach you. This is how you take control of your day instead of being controlled by it. Sit quietly and look inward. What emotions woke up with you? What worries were already waiting by the bedside? What desires are tugging at you? Do not judge them. Simply bring them into the light. When you acknowledge your mind early, its chaos loses its power. You become the observer, not the victim. This is the Stoic concept of premeditatio, pre-thinking the challenges ahead. You imagine obstacles not to fear them, but to weaken their ambush. When you expect them, they cannot surprise you. When you name them, they cannot control you. Most people experience mental resistance as an enemy. The Stoic sees it as training. If you wake with doubt, confront it. Why does it exist? What does it want? Does it deserve to guide me? If you wake with fear, ask, is this real, or is my mind exaggerating shadows? If you wake with laziness, question, is comfort helping me grow or keeping me small? These small questions sharpen your awareness and build your inner strength. By the time you leave your room, you are already ahead of the world. You have met your mind, examined it, and shaped it. You did not run from your thoughts, you trained them. This single practice separates the undisciplined from the unshakable. If you want more guided practices to train your mind and step into your day fully prepared, subscribe to this channel. Each video equips you to meet life with calm, clarity, and total control. 4. Strengthen the body to strengthen the will. The morning is the forge where your discipline is shaped, and the body is the first material you work with. Before the responsibilities of the day begin, before the noise floods in, you give your body a reason to wake with strength. The Stoics understood that the body and mind are not separate realms, they are partners. A weak body makes the mind easier to sway. A disciplined body makes the mind harder to break. This is why you move in the morning, even if the movement is small. You do not need an intense workout. You do not need perfection or hours of training. You need intentional physical activation, stretching your spine, opening your chest, engaging your breath, waking your muscles. When you take control of your body first, you send a signal to yourself, I choose effort over ease. I choose strength over comfort. Even 2 minutes of movement builds momentum, and that momentum shapes the entire day. Physical discipline also teaches you to embrace discomfort rather than fear it. The slight burn in your legs, the tightness in your shoulders, the cold air on your skin. These sensations remind you that discomfort is temporary, but the character it builds is permanent. Every morning repetition is a quiet victory over the part of your mind that wants to remain soft. The more often you win this fight early, the stronger your will becomes later when life demands more from you. This practice grounds you in your physical presence. It reconnects you to your breath, your posture, your stability. When your body stands strong, your mind stands taller. When you've already conquered, the resistance of the flesh, the resistance of the world feels smaller. Subscribe now to this channel to learn more morning rituals that align body and mind, creating unstoppable focus and inner strength. 5. Feed your mind before your hunger. Most people eat before they think. They pour coffee into their mornings before pouring thought into their minds. The Stoic understands that the mind must awaken first, for what you consume intellectually shapes how you act physically. Food sustains the body, but wisdom sustains direction. Your first nourishment of the day should be clarity, reflection, and intention. Before reaching for breakfast, sit quietly and engage with a principle that strengthens your mind. Read a passage from a Stoic philosopher, consider a moral truth, or reflect on the person you aim to become today. Let your first thoughts be deliberate. Let them mold your perspective before external chaos intrudes. This is how you build a mind that commands rather than reacts. The mind craves input just as the body craves fuel. What you choose as your first input matters. If it is distraction, fear, or gossip, your morning begins in weakness. If it is wisdom, reflection, and awareness, your morning begins in strength. Over time, this habit shifts the automatic patterns of your day. You find that decisions come easier, impulses have less power, and clarity becomes a default state rather than a rare achievement. Even a few minutes of intentional reflection before eating can change your trajectory. Consider this your morning armor. It shields your focus, anchors your priorities, and strengthens your judgment. Begin the day feeding your mind first, and the body will follow with purpose, not impulse. Subscribe for more daily Stoic guidance to cultivate clarity, mental strength, and purpose from the very start of your day. 6. Practice gratitude with your eyes open. Gratitude is not a fleeting feeling, it is a practice, a discipline of attention. Most people move through the morning distracted by what is missing, opportunities lost, possessions absent, dreams delayed. The Stoic does the opposite. You open your eyes and see what is present, what is yours, and what you can act upon. This simple shift rewires the mind from lack to abundance, from frustration to clarity. Begin with what is closest: your breath, your hands, the floor beneath your feet. Recognize them without judgment. Expand outward: the room you wake in, the roof above, the warmth or coolness of the air. Gratitude is not about ignoring suffering or pretending life is perfect. It is about acknowledging the elements that make action possible. By noticing what exists, you root yourself in reality rather than fantasy or desire. Gratitude sharpens perception. It makes trivial distractions fade and priorities emerge. When you start your day noticing the gifts that exist, your mind no longer wastes energy on resentment, comparison, or worry. It is focused on what matters and capable of decisive action. Marcus Aurelius wrote that life is short and unpredictable. By practicing gratitude, you prepare your mind to act decisively, aware of its fleeting time. Even a single moment of gratitude each morning can cascade through the day. It softens impatience, strengthens empathy, and fortifies patience. When you acknowledge what you have before seeking what you want, you move through the world grounded, unshaken, and alert. Subscribe to this channel for daily practices that reframe your mornings, transform your perspective, and cultivate unshakable inner peace. 7. Face the cold on purpose. Comfort is a quiet enemy. It lulls the mind into weakness and softens the will. The Stoic does not wait for challenges to arrive by chance. They seek small, deliberate discomforts each morning to train their resilience. This could be a cold shower, a brisk walk, or exposing yourself to the chill of the air outside. The purpose is not suffering, but preparation, to remind yourself that difficulty is not the enemy, but the teacher. When you deliberately face discomfort, you reclaim control over your body and mind. The shock of cold water, the bite of air, or the tension in muscles awakens awareness and sharpens focus. Every cell tells you that resistance is possible and that you can endure. This voluntary struggle strengthens the habit of saying "I can" before the world forces you into a situation where you might say "I cannot." Discomfort practice daily reduces the power of unexpected challenges. You begin to notice that obstacles that once seemed terrifying or draining now feel manageable. You are no longer a passenger of circumstance. Instead, you enter the day prepared to meet difficulties with clarity and calm. The small struggles of the morning create the armor for the inevitable struggles of life. Embrace this intentional challenge not as punishment, but as a signal: I am alive, I am capable, I am stronger than yesterday. Through repeated practice, discomfort transforms from enemy to ally, shaping a mind that is unshakable, a will that is disciplined, and a presence that commands respect. Subscribe for more actionable Stoic techniques to transform discomfort into strength, shaping mornings that empower the entire day. 8. Visualize your day with precision. Before stepping into the world, the Stoic takes the mind on rehearsal. Most people drift blindly, reacting to each event as it appears. The disciplined individual, however, anticipates the day ahead. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is premeditation with purpose. You mentally walk through potential challenges, interactions, and decisions, preparing yourself to respond with clarity rather than impulse. Imagine conversations that may test your patience. Picture situations that demand courage, discipline, or restraint. See yourself navigating them calmly and effectively. This mental rehearsal builds confidence, sharpens focus, and eliminates fear of the unknown. By the time the moments arrive, you are not surprised, you are prepared. Your mind has already traveled the path, and your body follows the blueprint. Visualization also aligns priorities. When you foresee the tasks, temptations, and decisions of the day, you can allocate your energy wisely. You understand what deserves attention and what should be ignored. The Stoic knows that a day spent reacting is a day lost. By mapping it mentally first, you step into it with intention, guided by foresight rather than distraction. Even 5 quiet minutes of visualization each morning rewires the mind toward control. You become proactive instead of reactive, strategic instead of scattered. This practice is subtle but profound. The external world remains unpredictable, but your internal world becomes unwavering. You do not wait for life to shape you. You shape how life meets you. Subscribe to learn more Stoic visualization techniques that give you clarity, foresight, and total control over your day. 9. Protect your energy like a fortress. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Most people give it away carelessly to endless notifications, toxic conversations, and trivial tasks that carry no real value. The Stoic treats their energy as sacred, guarding it with vigilance. The morning sets the tone for how much of your focus is yours to spend wisely. If you allow distractions early, you spend the day chasing what does not matter. Begin by identifying what steals your attention. Is it scrolling, unnecessary arguments, or worrying about the opinions of others? Once you recognize the drains, limit them. Create boundaries in the morning. No phone, no negative media, no premature engagement with chaos. This is not avoidance. It is preparation. You are protecting the quality of your mind so it can perform at its peak. Guarding your energy also requires conscious pacing. Do not rush into tasks or responsibilities. Move deliberately. Do the important first and save the trivial for later. The Stoics understood that the day is long, but energy is finite. Each morning spent protecting focus builds momentum for disciplined action. Your clarity, calm, and decisiveness become your armor against a world designed to scatter your mind. By practicing this daily, you develop a natural immunity to distractions. Others may feel frantic or drained, but your energy is intentional. Your mind becomes a fortress, not a playground for chaos. When your attention is yours alone, you act with precision, strength, and serenity. This practice ensures that you meet the world fully prepared, rather than partially depleted. Subscribe for more strategies on protecting your focus and energy, cultivating discipline that lasts from morning to night. 10. Step into the day with calm determination. All preparation converges in this moment, the step from your sanctuary of morning discipline into the unpredictable world outside. The Stoic does not rush. They do not charge blindly, nor do they hesitate in fear. They move with calm determination, carrying the inner clarity and strength cultivated in silence, intention, reflection, physical discipline. This is how the 1% awaken, fully present, fully prepared, fully themselves. The morning is a microcosm of life. If you can rise with awareness, act with intention, and face discomfort without flinching, you have already mastered much of what the day can throw at you. Each decision you make, each interaction you enter, is guided by the quiet authority of someone who has rehearsed, reflected, and rooted themselves in principle before the world demanded it. Control is not an external conquest. It is the internal mastery of your mind, your energy, your body, and your focus. Stepping into the day with calm determination means responding rather than reacting. When chaos arrives, you remain anchored. When others lose composure, you stand firm. When challenges appear, you face them with premeditation, courage, and clarity. The early habits you have built, silence, intention, reflection, movement, gratitude, voluntary discomfort, visualization, and energy protection, converge to form unshakable presence. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are the master of how you engage with it. This is the essence of Stoic morning discipline, rising not just awake, but aware, not just alive, but in command. Carry this practice forward each day, and you will find that life's chaos diminishes, while your power, serenity, and clarity expand. Step into each day fully, because mastery begins the moment you rise. Subscribe to this channel to receive more daily Stoic guidance, morning rituals, and strategies for total control over your mind, energy, and life. Start each day as part of the 1% who rise above distraction and chaos. The secret of the rare few is not magic. It is preparation, practice, and discipline. Each morning, before the world demands your attention, claim the moments that belong solely to you. Breathe, reflect, move, and visualize. Protect your energy. Embrace discomfort. Begin in gratitude. Rise with intention. Step into your day with calm determination. These are not small actions. They are life-altering commitments. They shape a person capable of total control, inner peace, and unshakable resilience. If you want more Stoic guidance, daily habits, and life-changing morning routines, subscribe to this channel. Transform your mornings, and you transform your life. The journey is not easy, but the results are eternal. You are capable, you are strong, and your control begins with how you rise.